So we've seen about the sewage treatment. Okay, so as I told you, primary, secondary and tertiary, the ultimate aim is to reduce the BOD, that is nothing but the biological oxygen demand. Phlox, the microbial association, that is your bacterial and fungal filaments or association is used, which they feed on in our organic matter in the water, so that they will bring down the biological oxygen demand. Okay. Next thing which we're going to see here is about the chemicals used. Chemicals, reagents, etc. Acids, etc. The 4 important acids, that is nothing but your citric acid, lactic acid, butyric acid. Okay, so citric acid, this is from Aspergillus niger. It's a fungus. So this citric acid is extracted from the fungus. Lactic acid is from Lactobacillus, that is nothing but your bacterium. Butyric acid is from Clostridium butylicum. Okay, citric acid, lactic acid, butyric acid. These 3 are the main acids which are being extracted from the microbes. And apart from that, one more acid is that, citric acid, lactic acid, then your acetic acid. So acetic acid is also extracted from your bacterium. See, these 3 are bacterial and this is your fungal. So acetic acid is extracted from Acetobacter. Okay, the main important acids, 4 important acids are extracted from the microbes, 3 from bacteria and 1 from your fungus. And apart from that, yeast has a wide, it has got a very huge application in baking, everything. Okay, followed by that, lipases. Lipases are the enzymes extracted from some microbes, some bacteria. So lipases enzymes are used in dry cleaning, that is for removal of stains. Okay, for removal of stains or in detergents or anything, what do we use is the lipase? Because that oil stain is all nothing but lipid stain. So lipases can break the oil stain and it can clear the stain. For laundry and dry cleaning, lipases are used. Then proteases, these aces are all enzymes. Proteases and peptidases. They are used in the packing bottled drinks industry. Okay, for example, if you see the bottled drinks, okay, if we leave a water as such, there will be formation of small cloggy things in the water, correct? But this packed things, how are they remaining as such as a clear solution is because they would have added some proteases and peptidases, so that when there is a small clot, this protease will go and block the clot and it will not allow the formation of any clotty substances or any pulps in the bottle. Okay, so in the cool drink industry and all, they'll use this mode. Okay, proteases and peptidases. Okay, they're used in the bottled drinks. Okay, next is streptokinase. Streptokinase is the enzyme. It is extracted from Streptococcus. Streptokinase is the enzyme and this is from coccus. This is used as a clot buster. Clot buster in the sense, if at all there is any clot inside. Okay, so this streptokinase is used as a clot buster for mainly for heart patients. If there is any clot or anything, this enzyme is actually injected through dermally so that the clot is actually melted. See, if you see the heart problem, if it is very mild clot, they'll say they can cure it with medication. So in that medication, this is an enzyme which is mainly used. Next is an radioactive molecule. There is nothing but cyclosporin A. Okay, so cyclosporin A is a radioactive molecule which is actually extracted from the fungus. Okay, so now what happens in this is that it acts as a immunosuppressive agent. It acts as a immunosuppressive agent. Okay, so when they're doing any transplant, kidney transplantation or any liver transplantation, they'll use the cyclosporin A so that the immune system in that localized area is suppressed so that they can do the transplant easily. So cyclosporin A is a immunosuppressant. And last but not the least is your statins. Okay, statins are extracted from the fungus Monascus purpureus. Okay, so this statin is also used in lowering the cholesterol level. Okay, statins are used in lowering the blood cholesterol level, so that it is also used to treat the heart patient. Streptokinase and statin, this is widely used to treat the heart patient. So these are all the examples of the chemicals, reagents and acids which are being used. Okay, so we've been seeing about the microbes and chemicals, reagents, acids, etc. Next is that we're going to see about microbes and biogas. So biogas is nothing but the natural gas. The main bacterium which is used is nothing but the methanobacterium. Okay, so what will it do is that this methanobacterium will use the medium and it will produce biogas. Okay, so the maximum most commonly used medium or the source is nothing but the dung water. Cow dung is rich in methane, methanobacterium. So what happens is that you have a biogas plant as such. So what will they do is that in this biogas plant, okay, there'll be a piston-like structure over here and there'll be a constant supply of dung water and the waste is all removed. So you know, right, the bioreactor, there'll be a constant supply of the medium or the source and there'll be a constant removal of waste so that the growth of the microbes is well organized. So what happens, this is dung water and waste is all being removed. What happens as they grow on, the gas is literally formed and the piston levels will raise. So once it is full, the process is stopped and then they'll continue. So methanobacterium is a chief bacterium which is responsible for the formation of biogas. Next is microbes as biocontrol agent. So what is a biocontrol agent is that? Biocontrol. The microbe, it is controlling the other living organism. It can be anything, okay. For example, we have seen this Bacillus thuringiensis, correct? So bacteria is killing the worm. So that is used as biocontrol agent, okay. So likewise you have some examples. One is ladybird and dragonflies. They're all used to get rid of aphids and mosquitoes, okay. So these, if at all you want to get rid of aphids, so I can leave a ladybird here, okay. So they have a proper food cycle, that is food chain and food web. So accordingly, whichever you want to control, their consumer, if you add on to the ecosystem or that particular locality, then automatically it will come under the control. No need to use any pesticides or anything. So you just have to follow this food chain and act accordingly. But whichever is feasible, you can try it on. Okay. So accordingly, ladybird will act on aphids and mosquitoes. Next is your Bacillus thuringiensis. Okay. So that is that endotoxin can kill the bollworm. So that is also biocontrol agent. Trichoderma is a fungi. Okay. So trichoderma, if they are found to be associated in the roots of the plants. So if trichoderma is present, what does it mean is that there will not be growth of any other pathogens in the root system, so that the plant is free from any diseases. Okay. Then baculoviruses or nuclear polyhedrovirus, they are also pathogens which will not allow the growth of any other pathogens in the system. So these are some of the naturally used biocontrol microbes which are used as a biocontrol agents. And the last application is microbes as biofertilizer. So what is a biofertilizer? Anything which will enrich the nutrient content of the soil is called as biofertilizer. So maximum this biofertilizers are used in organic farming. Okay, so they're used in organic. So without any without any fertilizers, okay, without any external fertilizers, if naturally a microbe is able to fix or enrich the nutrient in the soil, then I can use it for the biofertilizer. Okay, so rhizobium is the one. You know that rhizobium This bacterium is found in the root nodules of leguminous plants. They will help in fixing the atmospheric nitrogen better. Next is Azospirillum, Azotobacter. All these are some symbiotic microorganisms. Then fungi. These are bacterium. Fungi named glomus. So glomus is a fungi. So the roots of the fungi is called as mycorrhiza. So this roots will help, as the fungi grows, the roots will absorb, right? So the fungi is growing on a plant. So what happens is that the plants will also get the nutrients from the soil through the roots of the fungi. Okay, phosphorus, magnesium, all these contents are absorbed. And last one is your cyanobacteria, that is Anabina, Nostoc, etc. So they are all used as biofertilizers. So these are all the applications. So let me just summarize. First we've seen about household products. Then we've seen about fermentation industry beverages. Next is antibiotics. Next is sewage treatment plant. Then chemicals, etc. Then biogas, biocontrol agents, and biofertilizers. Clear? Okay. So now we're going to see about ECG. Okay. In continuation to this body fluids and circulation, we are going to see about ECG. ECG stands for electrocardiogram or cardiograph. Okay, so what will this ECG indicate is that? So you all know that we have a myogenic heart. Myogenic in the sense, neurogenic heart is a sense, the nervous system will stimulate the heartbeat each time. But myogenic in the sense, the heart itself, it is self-regulatory. Okay, so you have a muscle in the heart which will regulate your heartbeat. Okay, so this ECG, electrocardiograph or electrocardiogram, is a device which records this particular impulses and signals of the heart. Okay, so you have basically three waves here: P, Q, R, S, and then T. So I'm dividing this into three categories. Totally you have 5 waves, but I'm grouping them into 3 categories. Okay, so P wave will indicate the depolarization. So what is depolarization is, as soon as I receive the signal, my signs are all changed. So that is called as depolarization. So P wave will indicate the depolarization of atria. Okay. So what happens once it is depolarized, the atria will contract, correct? And that what happens, ventricles are filling. What next happens is that depolarization of ventricles. Okay, so why do I need 3 waves for ventricles is because the area of ventricles is larger compared to that of atria. Okay, atria it is little small, whereas ventricles it is little large compared to the area wise. So second QRS will indicate the depolarization of ventricles. And the last one, your T wave will indicate the repolarization. That is, so after depolarization my ventricles will contract. So after that, after contraction, again my ventricles will come back to the original state. So T wave will indicate the repolarization of ventricles. Okay, so this is how the ECG is recorded. So I will check if my atrial depolarization and repolarization are happening properly, so that my heartbeat will come in pace. If there is any change in this particular ECG, it means that you have some any abnormalities, like there might be a block, there might be an insufficient supply of oxygen, anything. All these are indicated with the minute differences in the ECG. Okay. Followed by this, we are going to see about the disorders. Okay. Disorders with regards to your circulatory system. First of all, you have some terms called, okay. First is eupnea. Nia means breathing. Eupnea is normal breathing. Okay, so normal breathing, there is no problem, the breathing is perfect, that's called eupnea. Next is apnea. Apnea is absence of breathing. There is no breathing, that means the person is dead. Okay, so apnea is no breathing. Then polypnea. Polypnea means rapid breathing, fast breathing. Okay, polypnea, or I can call it as hyperpnea. Okay, rapid breathing. Okay, next is tachypnea. Tachypnea means breathing with, it is also fast breathing. Tachy is also fast breathing. Dyspnea. Dyspnea means difficulty in breathing. Breathing with difficulty in breathing. So these are all the conditions. Okay, see, if you choke, you will end up in polypnea. Okay, if you run, you will end up in hypopnea. So all these are the conditions. Okay, now We are going to see about, these are all conditions, now we are going to see about the disorders, okay. So as far as the heart is concerned, the main thing is your cardiovascular disease, CAD or cardiovascular disease. So what happens in cardiovascular disease is that the blood vessels which are supplying blood to the heart is narrowed. How is it narrowed? By the plaque formation, okay. So narrowing, so what happens if this is your blood vessel? Initially there might be a small scratch. Then slowly the deposition will start. So what happens, the plaque, this is called as plaque, okay. So it will start depositing and ultimately it will end up in blocking the, so blood flow is hindered. There's no blood flow because of the formation of the plaque, okay. So it can be, the lumen of the vessel is narrowed or completely blocked, okay. So that will end up in cardiovascular disease. So what they will do is, if the block is very small, say some up to 10 to 20% block, they'll prescribe medication, okay. They'll prescribe medicines, okay. If the block is some 20 to 60 or 70 percentage, then what they'll do is they'll insert a catheter, okay. They'll blow this off and they'll just remove everything with the help of the balloon. So they'll just send inside the inflated balloon. After sending inside, they'll blow the balloon, clear the plaque and then keep stunt, okay. So they'll keep stunt, okay. And this process is called as angioplast, okay. And if there is a complete blockage, the blood vessel itself is totally blocked, say 100% block, if that is there, they will prefer doing bypass surgery. That is, say if this is blocked, this vessel is completely blocked, I will take a blood vessel from the thigh or your upper arm and I will totally close this and I'll find an alternate route. So bypass surgery is preferred for that kind of patients, okay. So this is something related to your CAD. Next is angina. Next condition is angina. What happens in angina? Angina will result in a strangling pain, kind of squeezing pain, okay. So why is this condition happening is that if the hypoxic condition, okay, that is insufficient oxygen supply or hypoxic condition will end up in the condition called angina. So suddenly they'll have a very strangling pain because the oxygen supply is not enough, okay. And the last one is your heart failure. Heart failure, this is caused because there might be a problem with the SA node. So the heart is not able to pump blood efficiently. That may be because of many reasons. SA node problem, or there might be, the valves may be properly, they might lose their elasticity, okay. Apart from these conditions, any other condition, if it is because of that, when the heart is not able to pump properly, that will end up in heart failure, okay. Next is stroke. What happens in stroke is that, see, if you have clot and if it is blocking somewhere near your heart, then that is called as your cardiovascular disease. But if the blood vessel which is supplying blood to the brain is blocked because of the clot, that will end up in stroke, okay. So blood supply to the brain is reduced from the heart, so that will end up in stroke, okay. So these are all the disorders related to your circulatory system.